Yo, what's up? It's your boy Sino here. Just doing what I always do. Giving it to y'all raw, uncut, the whole nine. Everybody want me to hold off on the $500 giveaway till they get in on the VIP Patreon. Like, wait, don't do did I miss it yet? I'm like, nah, you ain't missed it yet. Just chill. You ain't missed it yet. Just chill. I could do it now, but some people like, man, I want to get in. I get paid Friday. I'm like, all right, man. Get paid Friday then, man. It's Friday now. So I guess we'll do it, Saturday or something? Because I'm ready to get the thing over with so I can start giving the card out to people. So VIP Patreons, just hold your breath. Because people trying to get in. Now, where are we at here? Jay and Dame Dash. A lot of people blame Leor Cohen for splitting those two apart. And yeah, Leor played a very huge role in that. But this was on the horizon, and it was a long time coming. And that's what I tried to get people to understand also. It's a long time coming. Now you might say, well, why? Better yet, how? Because there's a person that was involved that a lot of people don't even really focus on or pay attention to in this whole matter. And that person was very influential with what was happening between Jay and Dame. Roc-A-Fella was in a whole different, flux at that time. At this point, you see that the writing was going against the wall for Dame from 21 Jump Street. So nobody was feeling right about what was going on. Like the direction on where they was going after they got the money and they was on an all-time high. They got that big payoff, big lump sum. So they was really boasting. Now they multi-millionaires. So everybody's chest is out. We got the big bank now. Now we finna sign everybody to the label and we finna eat off them. Now we at the big boy table. Well, that isn't kind of how it played out. Now, see, what was supposed to be a compilation album, the Dynasty, right? That was supposed to be not a Jay-Z album. That was supposed to be a Roc-A-Fella album. So when that turned into a Jay-Z project, because Jay-Z already had Volume 3, it just came out at the end of the year. Then here it is, less than 6 months later, we get another Jay-Z album. That was supposed to introduce The Rock and all the artists and, highlight them on a compilation album. But Jay is trying to get out the deal. He want to renegotiate and get a new deal. So they signed to, they partnered with Roc-A-Fella. They wanted this album to take off and do some sales and some numbers. So let's get Jay behind it so Jay can get out this deal. Jay got in there and turned it into a Jay-Z album. He was liking the direction the album was going. So he was like, man, I'm liking this. Kanye had just got there. They was in the middle of the whole Dynasty thing. And right away, things were pivoted. So now this turns into a Jay-Z album. Now, Dame was the one that brought in Roc-A-Fella, Rock Film, Armadale Vodka. When Cristal, the owner of that, started making that, like, I didn't want black people to be drinking my liquor. And I'm basically saying it not verbatim like I said it, but just like that. Jay-Z and everybody else was like, we finna all put Cristal down. And that was it. There was no more popping Cristal and all that. So they went ahead and they started doing the Armadale Vodka. They got a deal with Armadale, which was the first real liquor deal ever done with the rap artists. Like a real deal. You know what I'm saying? Where they got a percentage off of what was sold. So they had the Armadale Vodka. So Jay was like loving that. Dame was making these deals outside of music and was bringing that to the table for rock. So everybody was, can get a piece of it and get something to eat off of it. So you doing that, you got Rock Films, once Paid in Full hit the way it did. I mean, it wasn't like a blockbuster smash, but for urban media, it was huge. That's gonna get you in the door. That's what got them the film deal that they got. And this is why Dame was going in this direction. Because he wanted to make a film like that to show that he can make and produce these type of movies, and we can get these films out to the public. We're gonna have music and movie and the whole entertainment. And then this is where the sponsorships and the money's gonna start pouring in at. So Dame was bringing all this to the table, but Jay got sidetracked because he started moving different and a lot different once Steve Stoute came into the picture. You see, Steve Stoute used to be with Nas. And him, they had the firm, and Steve Stoute has all these great ideas, and he's basically a front man for a lot of these corporations. They go through Steve Stoute, and he brings the money in, and he talks to them to get them to take the deals and move in the direction that they move in. Now, he brings in a bag, but what comes along with it is something else. So when they was talking about the state property shoes with Pro Kids, and they were going in that, Jay had already the Reebok deal. So when he had his Reebok deal, they weren't even thinking about going in another direction. Jay got Armadale Vodka, right? And he's promoting Armadale Vodka with Dame. Then all of a sudden you turn on TV, you see Jay-Z in a Heineken commercial. And you're like, why is Jay-Z in this Heineken commercial? Like, what the hell is this? It was like a one-off. They didn't even do nothing with it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, dog, we got Armadale Vodka. What is you doing? That was crazy. They wanted Jay to do the Chappelle show. And Dame Dash ended up doing with Dave Chappelle and coming on the Chappelle show, doing the Roc-A-Fella skit and all that. But Jay didn't want to do it. And there's a lot of things about that. The whole film deal that they had with doing their own movies, they just did Paid in Full, so they got to do State Property, the movie. So when they did the State Property movie and then they was going to launch the group, Jay's in there in the first State Property and this and that. And Steve Stoute was, why are you putting yourself in this? Like, this is low budget. This is low rent. you shouldn't have to do this. You Jay-Z, like you gotta start thinking. Do you think anybody like Mariah Carey would be in a state property movie? And I was like, she kind of wasn't she? She was hanging out with Dame. Like Mariah was like in the hood. Like, what is going on? What is he talking about? But Steve Stoute was keep trying to change Jay-Z mind on things. And they did Death of a Dynasty. And this was right at the same time Dame had really was going around filming, and he had Choke No Joke, I think, with him. And they in there filming in the damn Def Jam offices, him going off on people. All of these things are coming around full circle. So about time they got to that point is when they was doing the negotiations for the deal for Death of a Dynasty and what else they was doing. I know it was Death of a Dynasty, and there was a couple of other movies. They had this deal with Universal, but I know that Fade to Black was supposed to be Dame's movie. When they was gonna do the whole, we gonna make like a documentary on the Jay-Z last album and make it into a movie. Like we did with Death of a Dynasty, like the Dynasty was coming to an end, and now this is the end of it. Yeah, it was some weird times, man, But that was supposed to be a Dame Dash movie, and it wasn't. And Jay ended up working a deal because Steve Stoute got in there, told him, "Hey, this is what we finna do. We don't need Dame for this. This gonna be a Jay-Z thing, and we'll make it big. We'll make it classy. We're gonna bring some other people in. We ain't finna have Jack in the Box recording this. We gonna get real people in here and produce it and do it our way." So they basically took it from Dame Dash, and you see this happen a lot. Dame didn't put up a big fight either. Dame kind of let it go. But that was a big part of what I think a problem was. He let it go, but it never got better. Never got better. I think he was hurt by it. Well, Dame had this thing with Universal, this distribution deal with them for his movies. So you go ahead and you get Paramount Village to come in and do it, and you get them to release your film, and you basically, throw Dame to the backside, but tried to make it look as if he was still part of everything. But you basically ostracized him on his own, project. Dame got none of the credit. So, yeah, it was bad, man. But that was Steve Stoute. And Steve was basically saying, like, with Irv, you know, it was done, man. It was done. Dame knew the writing was on the wall, but he was like, Jay ain't gonna do that. He ain't gonna do that. Not to me. Now you gotta think. They got Mary J, Foxy Brown, Diddy, Missy, Missy Elliott, R. Kelly, Beyonce, Usher. All these people involved in the project. You think, did you ever think that they was gonna let this slide by? All these people involved in the project, you thought that was gonna just be a Dame Dash event? The Black Album original name was gonna be Fade to Black. But since Biggie was talking about making a black album, with a black album, I just want a whole black album. Like, I'm just gonna make a black album. Biggie had said he was gonna do that. No titles on the song, nothing. Just a complete black album. No pictures, no nothing. So he got that from Biggie. And he was like, I'm gonna make a black album. So I remember when Big said it. Now, when this whole situation hit the way it did, it was pretty severe. There was a lot of damaging going on between Steve Stoute, who had basically played both sides of the fence. He went and joined Nas again back when Nas was back hot with Stillmatic. And he was like, let me roll back over there with Nas. And he went back and started working with him. Then he over there working with Jay. And Dame is like, why would you work with somebody that's working with your enemy? It's because he's bringing him money. Jay got about $30 million in a check sent to him from Reebok to do the S. Dot Carters. He was teaming up and we're getting the deal done with him and 50 Cent. He brought 50 Cent in with Jay. And Steve Stoute got mad at 50 because 50 wouldn't continue to do business with him. He's like, okay, I brought you a good piece of business, so now you see that I'm worth it. I'm worth it, so let's go ahead. Let's move forward. But it didn't happen that way. And he was hurt by that. He was like, after I bring you this kind of business, this is the way you treat me? All right. Okay. So that's where the 50 Cent and Steve Stoute, he started coming out bashing 50 and all this stuff all the time on radio and stuff. So him and Fifth was going to talk. I knew they were going to meet up and have to talk at some point. Well, if you look at the main component, like what's the missing component or the main missing piece in this whole drama, and you start saying, oh, I get it now. I know what the missing component is. The missing component was this person and so and so. So if you know all that, then why is there even any talk of drama? Like they say, one day it'll all make sense. Just ain't gonna be today, huh? Hey, I ain't mad at you. I was just saying I understand. But Dame is just sick that Jay wanna keep, you know what I'm saying, wanna keep him at bay. You know, he made up with Biggs. He did Biggs wrong. He made up with Biggs. He brought back in Emery. He brought in all these guys, but he keeping Dame out. And D. Headache ain't did nothing to the man. But if you ain't finna bow down and kiss the ring, he not finna put you in the circle. Had Headache not did that video where he went live and started dissing Jay, his moms and all that, do I think he would have put Headache back on? Yeah, but it would have been different because he know Headache ain't gonna conform. And that's a whole nother thing. We'll talk about that a little later down the road. Because I know a lot of y'all got stuff to do. I ain't going to hold y'all. So we'll talk about that one later. But hopefully I see y'all guys on the Patreon today. You're going to have a great time today. Trust me, it's on. Shouts out to Kwame Brown, Buzz Life, Ticket TV, Mondo Black TV. Welcome to HDII TV. We out.